When Liam grows tired of his relationship, he makes an unthinkable request. His identical twin, Noah, must take his place, just for a little while, just until Liam figures things out. Noah agrees reluctantly. But pretending to be his brother isn't as simple as it seems, especially when Clara, the girlfriend, starts to notice something different. He listens. He cares. He's everything Liam never was. And she's falling in love again. With a lie. With him. Hello family, welcome to Storytime with Imzi. Please subscribe and like, it means the world to us. Also share this video to your friends and loved ones and turn on post notifications so you don't miss future videos from us. Thank you as you do so. Sit back and relax as we dive into the story. Liam leaned against the balcony railing, cigarette balanced between two fingers, the orange ember glowing like a small, dying sun. Below, the city breathed. Cars sighed through the streets, voices echoed in bursts, distant and meaningless. Behind him, through the sliding glass door, Clara's laughter flickered like candlelight from the living room. Some sitcom. Probably one they used to watch together. Now it just filled space. Noah stood beside him, mirroring his posture. Same dark hair, same squared jawline, same posture that leaned a little too far forward, as if always preparing to fall. But while Liam looked exhausted, his face hollowed out by weeks of avoidance and half-hearted affection, Noah's eyes held the quiet patience of someone waiting for the punchline. Liam exhaled, smoke trailing from his lips. "I need a favor," he said. Noah looked at him sidelong. "No, you haven't even heard what it is. If it starts with 'I need a favor' and involves that look on your face, I already know it's bad." Liam smirked, flicked Ash over the edge. "I just need a break. A week, maybe less. I'm not asking you to sleep with her or anything." Noah turned to face him fully now, brows drawn tight. "Liam." Liam paused. He hadn't rehearsed this part. "I can't do it anymore, man. She's great, but I'm not. I'm tired of pretending. Every conversation feels like I'm acting in a play I forgot the script for. Then break up with her. It's not that simple. It literally is." Liam pinched the bridge of his nose. "She's been good to me. Better than I deserved, probably. And part of me still cares, I do. But I feel suffocated. And you're the only person who can step in without her noticing." There was a long silence. The sounds of the city rose around them again. Noah shook his head slowly. "You're out of your mind. She won't know. A few days. Just dinner, a couple of texts, maybe a weekend brunch. You don't even have to kiss her. You want me to lie to her. Pretend I'm you, in a relationship you're too cowardly to end." Liam didn't deny it. "I'm serious, man," Liam said. "Just long enough for me to figure things out. I swear I'll come clean after. I'll tell her the truth. I just need time." Noah looked through the glass door. Clara sat curled up on the couch, a blanket around her legs, her laughter soft and genuine. She didn't deserve this. "You're an idiot," Noah muttered. "I know. If I do this, it's not for you. It's to make sure she doesn't get hurt." Liam's shoulders relaxed for the first time in days. "Yeah, I know." The brothers stood in silence for another moment before Liam stubbed out the cigarette and opened the door. "Don't be too charming," he muttered under his breath. "I don't want her falling in love with you or something." Noah didn't respond. Inside, Clara looked up from the couch and smiled. "Hey," she said warmly, not knowing anything had changed. Noah smiled back. "Hey," he said, and stepped into someone else's life. The first morning felt like a lie Noah could taste. The apartment smelled like eucalyptus and the faint trace of Clara's shampoo. Sunlight leaked in through the half-drawn curtains in Liam's bedroom. Their bedroom now, Noah reminded himself. He had slept on top of the covers, fully clothed, still half expecting to wake up from this whole thing. But when he opened his eyes, Clara was already up, humming softly in the kitchen, brewing coffee like it was any other day. "Morning," she said, setting a mug down in front of him, the rim stained with cinnamon. "I used the oat milk you like." Noah stared at the cup. Thanks. He didn't even like oat milk. Clara was barefoot, wrapped in one of Liam's flannel shirts, soft, oversized, the sleeves rolled up her forearms. She wore it better than Liam ever had. Noah wondered briefly how many quiet mornings she had spent like this, unaware that her boyfriend was already pulling away, brick by brick. "We've got yoga at 10, she said, glancing at her phone. "I already signed us up. Don't pretend you forgot again." "Right. Yoga." "Right," he said. "Yeah. Looking forward to it." The words felt like they belonged to someone else's mouth. The studio smelled like lemon cleaner and sweat. Noah stood on a mat beside Clara, desperately trying to follow the instructor's smooth commands. His muscles trembled under the unfamiliar poses, but he kept his face composed. Clara noticed. "You're actually trying today," she whispered, breathless and grinning. Noah nodded. New leaf. She reached over and squeezed his hand in downward dog, which the instructor frowned at, but Noah didn't care. Her fingers were warm and unguarded. Afterward, over smoothies, she talked about a friend's engagement, her upcoming presentation at work, the way her boss chewed pens like a nervous rodent. Noah listened. Actually listened. He asked questions. Laughed where it mattered. Noticed how she twirled her straw absent-mindedly when thinking, or how she avoided eye contact when talking about her parents. "You're quieter today," she said suddenly, sipping her drink. "Too quiet?" he asked. "No," she tilted her head. "Just different." His heart skipped once. "Better or worse?" She smiled. "Better." That shouldn't have felt like guilt. But it did. Back at the apartment, she asked if he wanted to help her cook. Liam had always shrugged off kitchen duties, citing exhaustion or fake deadlines. Noah stepped in beside her, chopping peppers as she worked the skillet, the two of them moving in a kind of unpracticed rhythm. There was a comfortable silence between their sentences. Not the awkward kind, but the sort people grow into. The kind built over time and safety and familiarity. As they sat down to eat, Clara looked across the table at him and said, "I missed this." Noah swallowed hard. "Me too." He didn't know if that was true. For Liam, maybe not. But for Noah, it was starting to be. That night, he lay again on top of the covers. The door to Clara's side of the bed remained closed. She never questioned it, said something about him needing space, then kissed his cheek and turned off the light. In the dark, Noah stared at the ceiling. This was supposed to be easy. Pretend. Fill in. Keep her happy. No harm done. But Clara wasn't a placeholder in someone else's life. She was vivid, thoughtful, effortlessly funny, and undeniably real. And Liam had been blind to it. Noah wasn't sure he could keep pretending. But worse, he wasn't sure he wanted to stop. By the third day, Clara started noticing things. Small things at first. Things she didn't say out loud. Liam's texts were longer. Thoughtful. Sometimes he remembered things she'd mentioned in passing. A coworker's name, the title of a book she was reading, her anxiety about her sister's visit. When she made an offhand joke, he laughed in just the right place. Not the distracted chuckle she'd grown used to. The one that meant he hadn't really been listening. She didn't think too hard about it. People changed. Maybe he was trying again. And maybe, just maybe, so was she. They went to her parents' place on Saturday. The routine was always the same. Her father would make dry jokes. Her mother would offer unsolicited life advice disguised as compliments, and Liam would smile politely, offer as little as possible, and sneak glances at the clock. But not this time. Liam asked about her dad's old record collection, sat beside her mom, and genuinely complimented her on the casserole. He even helped wash the dishes. When Clara's mother went to refill the wine glasses, she gave Clara a nod of approval that made her blink in surprise. On the drive home, Clara turned to him. "You were really great today." He shrugged modestly. "Your parents are good people. They've always been the same. You've just never said that before. I guess I'm starting to pay attention." She looked at him sideways. "Are you okay?" "Yeah," he said, eyes on the road. "Why?" "I don't know." You seem different. Not bad different. Just, I don't know. Lighter. Noah hesitated. Maybe I'm just tired of pretending. Clara smiled, not catching the full meaning of that line. Yeah, me too. Later that night, they watched a documentary on deep-sea creatures. Clara loved weird animals, octopuses, jellyfish, those fish with light bulbs hanging from their foreheads. Liam had always teased her for it, but Noah found himself genuinely fascinated. As she curled against him, pointing out her favorites, he didn't fake interest. He asked questions. She lit up. I forgot how good this could feel, she murmured, her head resting on his shoulder. Noah's hand hovered for a moment, then settled around her waist. Not possessive, just present. But guilt was beginning to form hairline fractures in the illusion. Noah stayed up late in Liam's apartment after Clara had gone home. He sat on the edge of the bed, scrolling through text threads and photos, rereading conversations Liam had had with her. Dull, distracted routine. He wondered how Clara had endured it for so long. He also wondered how long he could keep lying to her. The worst part wasn't the deception. It was that he was becoming the boyfriend she thought she had. And she was falling in love all over again, with someone who wasn't really hers. The next morning, Clara surprised him with tickets to a small acoustic concert. Local singer-songwriter, open-air venue. You used to love this kind of stuff, she said. Noah didn't correct her. They sat beneath string lights, a soft breeze weaving through the notes, the singer's voice wrapping around them like thread. Clara held his hand tightly, and Noah could feel the warmth of her, the trust, the quiet comfort that only came when you stopped trying to impress someone and just existed beside them. Halfway through the set, Clara leaned in. I think I'm falling in love with you again, she whispered. Noah didn't speak. He couldn't. His breath caught in his chest like something sharp and immovable. He didn't say it back. But he also didn't pull away. And that somehow felt worse. It started with a kiss. Clara leaned in after the concert, her face lit by the glow of string lights and her expression soft, open. She kissed him like it was familiar, like it was muscle memory, like she'd been waiting for this version of Liam to return. And Noah, against every instinct, every warning firing in his chest, kissed her back. It was gentle, honest, the kind of kiss that doesn't ask for anything more than presence. But when it ended, Clara rested her forehead against his and whispered, There you are. And Noah, who had never been Liam, didn't correct her. The next morning, the guilt was unbearable. He stood in the bathroom, staring at himself in the mirror. Same face, same eyes, same tired lines in the corners. It wasn't the first time he'd filled in for Liam. Once in high school, for a class Liam didn't want to fail, once for a driving test. But this was different. This was someone's life, someone's heart. He splashed water on his face and leaned forward, whispering to the reflection like it might hold answers. What the hell are you doing? The mirror didn't answer, but the cracks were forming. Across town, Liam was waking up alone for the 5th day in a row. The novelty of freedom had already begun to sour. The flings were dull. The late nights with old friends felt stretched thin. Conversations with women at bars turned shallow within minutes. No one knew him like Clara had. No one looked at him like she had, until recently. Something gnawed at him. When he texted Noah for a quick check-in. How's it going? He didn't get an answer for 2 hours. Then, fine. She suspects nothing. You said a week. Don't forget that. Liam scowled at the screen. Something in the wording felt off. The tone too cold, too distant. Like Noah was writing to a stranger. On Sunday, Clara invited Liam to a cozy dinner at her place. A quiet night. Homemade risotto. Candlelight. Noah didn't know how to say no. He watched her as she cooked, barefoot in an old band tee, hair tied up messily, swaying to a vinyl playing softly in the corner. She moved with a comfort in her own space that Noah found intoxicating. It wasn't performative. It was real. They ate by the window, talking about travel, books, even childhood fears. At one point, she asked, Do you remember the first time we said I love you? Noah's fork paused midair. She smiled. It was the night of that thunderstorm, remember? We stayed in your car, eating drive-through fries and talking until like 2 a.m. He forced a nod. Yeah, that was a good night. She looked at him, something narrowing behind her eyes. You said it first. You were so nervous you knocked over the fries. He laughed a little too late. Right. I forgot about that part. She tilted her head. You never forget details like that. The silence was brief but heavy. Just a breath longer than it should have been. She let it go. Or seemed to. But the crack had widened. Later that night, after Noah left, Clara sat on her couch scrolling through old texts, past conversations with Liam, photo memories, voicemails. She played one from 8 months ago. Liam saying goodnight with a tired voice and a rushed, I love you. She played it twice. Then she looked at her phone and muttered aloud. You're not the same. That same night, Noah couldn't sleep. He paced Liam's apartment like it was a cage. His phone buzzed. Liam again. You seeing her tonight? What have you told her? Noah didn't reply. He just sat on the couch, face in his hands, the sound of Clara's voice echoing in his head. I think I'm falling in love with you again. The problem wasn't that she was falling in love. The problem was he was too. Liam didn't knock. He never did. The apartment door swung open mid-morning, unannounced, just as Noah was buttoning up one of Liam's shirts. One Clara had gifted him for their anniversary last year. Noah froze. Liam stood in the doorway, arms crossed, jaw tight, sunglasses still on like armor. I said a week, he snapped. Noah didn't respond at first. He calmly adjusted his collar, meeting Liam's glare in the mirror. It's been 6 days. Liam stepped inside and shut the door behind him with a solid click. She kissed you, didn't she? Noah turned. That wasn't supposed to happen. No kidding. They stood across from each other like a reflection breaking down. Identical, but something unspoken now made them feel like two different men. The tension in the room crackled, like a fuse waiting for flame. You said you just needed a break, Noah said. You didn't say she was in love with a ghost. Liam scoffed. She wasn't in love with me anyway. You clearly proved that. Maybe she was. But she deserved someone present. Someone who gave a damn. I did, Liam shouted. At first. But people change. We grow apart. I just wanted out without wrecking her. You didn't want guilt, Noah snapped. So you gave me the fallout. You handed me a real person like she was a chore. Liam stepped forward. You could have said no. I should have. But I didn't know what I was walking into. Silence. Then quieter. I didn't know she was someone I could fall for. Clara didn't mean to overhear. She'd come early. Wanted to surprise Liam with a morning coffee and a book she'd found that reminded her of him. Noah, she realized now. As she reached the hallway, she heard voices. Not muffled. Not angry. Just clear. Unmistakable. Her name hadn't come up, not yet. But the conversation didn't need it. She stood outside the door, heart pounding, hand frozen just inches from the handle. Her brain tried to make sense of it all. What it meant that the voice she'd loved wasn't the man she thought. That the Liam who'd reappeared in her life like magic had actually never existed. It was betrayal. It was confusion. It was heartbreak. But more than anything, it was clarity. She knocked once and opened the door without waiting. Both brothers froze. Noah's face went pale. Liam took a step back, hands raised instinctively like she was about to throw something. Clara looked at them. Not panicked. Not screaming. Just still. Her eyes darted between them. The same face, two versions of the same man. But the truth no longer frightened her. Which one of you, she said calmly, has been pretending to love me? No one answered. So she asked again. Slower. Colder. This time, Noah stepped forward. I never pretended, he said quietly. That landed like a blade. Clara's breath shook. Her eyes brimmed, but she didn't blink. So you lied to my face. You let me fall in love with someone you knew I didn't really know. All while pretending to be the man I trusted. I didn't plan to, Noah said. It started with a favor. It ended with. Don't, she cut in. Don't say it ended with love. Liam tried to speak. Clara, I didn't want to hurt you. I thought. She laughed. A bitter, breathless sound. You didn't want to hurt yourself. So you gave me to him like a hand-me-down. Neither of them moved. She turned, eyes landing on Noah. And you played along. You kissed me. Slept in my house. Looked me in the eye while I told you things I never told anyone. And all you had to say was, I didn't mean to. Noah's voice broke. I'm sorry. I don't care, she whispered. She turned and walked out the door. No suitcase. No dramatic slam. Just footsteps. Controlled. Done. When the door shut, the silence was deafening. Noah sat down on the edge of the couch, his whole body slumped. Liam leaned against the wall, arms folded, but the fight had drained out of him. She's gone, Liam said flatly. Noah nodded. Because of both of us. Noah looked up at him, face heavy with something worse than anger. Mostly me, he said. And neither of them could argue with that. The days that followed were quiet. Too quiet. No fights. No calls. No texts. Just silence. Clara didn't block them. She didn't need to. She simply disappeared. Unfollowed, unseen. Her absence was louder than anything she could have said. Noah went home. Not to Liam's apartment. To his own. It was smaller. Colder. The walls didn't know her name. The couch hadn't felt her weight. The kitchen had never heard her laugh. He kept thinking he would feel relief, like the lie had finally been exhaled. But instead, there was only vacancy. He left Liam's clothes folded in a box by the door. He didn't want to wear anything that had touched her. Not anymore. Liam showed up at his door 2 nights later. No warning. He looked worse than Noah had ever seen him. Dark circles under his eyes, unshaven, hair disheveled. You don't get to vanish too, Liam said when Noah didn't open the door fast enough. Noah stepped aside wordlessly. They sat at the kitchen table. No coffee. No beer. No buffer. Liam ran a hand over his face. I thought about texting her. 100 times. Just to explain. She doesn't want to hear from us. I know. He paused. Still. I miss her. Noah nodded. Me too. The admission settled between them. A rare honesty. A shared ache. They sat in silence for a while. Then Liam asked the question neither of them had dared speak out loud. Did you love her? Noah stared at the grain of the table. I still do. Liam closed his eyes. His jaw clenched like he wanted to hit something, but didn't have the energy. Then why didn't you tell her the truth sooner? Noah's throat tightened. Because I was scared she'd leave. You mean scared she wouldn't pick you? Noah didn't answer. But Liam already knew. That was the worst part. They both did. Across the city, Clara sat in a cafe with her sister, trying to distract herself with idle talk and lukewarm tea. But nothing tasted right. Every sound in the background seemed to echo with ghosts. A song Liam had once hated. A couple laughing like she and he used to. A voice that sounded like Noah's for a second, just a second. Her sister asked, "Are you okay?" Clara nodded. She wasn't. But she would be. Eventually. Back in Noah's apartment, Liam stood to leave. He reached the door, paused, then turned back. For what it's worth, he said. You were the version of me she deserved. Noah looked up. But not the version she chose, Liam added. And with that, he left. Noah didn't sleep that night. He sat at his desk, hands idle, then picked up a pen. Not to fix anything. Not to win her back. Just to say the things he should have said when it still mattered. Dear Clara, I'm not asking for forgiveness. I know I lost at the moment I chose silence over honesty. You weren't part of a game, and I never saw you as one. But I played you like you were. I let you believe in a person I wasn't, someone who paid attention, who remembered, who stayed. The truth is, I never pretended to love you. That part was real. And maybe someday, when you're ready to hate me a little less, you'll believe that. But for now, I'll carry it. The guilt. The loss. The part of me that hopes you're healing. I hope you're somewhere full of light, talking about weird ocean creatures, laughing at something no one else finds funny. That's how I'll remember you. Not mine. Just unforgettable. Noah. Clara didn't read the letter right away. It arrived in a plain envelope with no return address, just her name, written in a careful, too familiar hand. She almost threw it out. She almost set it on fire. Instead, she slid it into a drawer beneath a pile of unopened bills and birthday cards she didn't have the energy to respond to. It sat there for 3 weeks. In that time, she changed her hair. A little shorter, a little lighter. She stopped listening to the playlist they used to share. Started biking to work instead of driving. Rearranged her furniture. Not to forget, just to reclaim the space. Her sister suggested a trip, just the two of them. Portugal, maybe. Somewhere warm and far, where the people didn't speak their names. Clara agreed. Noah didn't expect a response. After sending the letter, he felt lighter, but not relieved. It wasn't closure. It wasn't even hope. It was just the truth finally outside of him. He went back to work. Slowly. Cautiously. He saw a therapist, started writing again. Not letters, but short stories. Nothing special. Just characters trying to be better versions of themselves. On the outside, his life looked the same. But something inside had shifted. Liam, meanwhile, had disappeared into his own storm. The freedom he'd once craved now tasted like ash. He tried reaching out to old friends, but found the conversations too shallow. Tried dating again, but nothing stuck. Every woman felt like a mirror to his own dishonesty. One night he called Noah. Just one ring, then hung up. He didn't know what he wanted. Just that he didn't want to be alone with the silence anymore. 3 weeks after the letter arrived, Clara opened it. She read it once. Then again. Then she cried. Not the kind that crashes through the body like a wave, but the slow, exhausted kind. The kind that comes when you finally understand something you never wanted to. She sat at her kitchen table, the same one Noah had once helped set for dinner, and whispered aloud, "I believe you." Not forgiveness. Not a rekindling. Just understanding. That weekend, she mailed him a small package. Inside was a single photograph. One she had taken of him at the concert, his profile turned toward the stage lights, half lit, half lost. On the back, in neat handwriting, she wrote, "You were real, too. Just not at the right time. No signature. No return address." But it was enough. Months passed. The ache dulled. The shadows of their shared past grew softer around the edges. Noah stopped checking her socials. Liam stopped asking about her. Clara stopped imagining their faces in crowds. They didn't heal in sync. They didn't all arrive at peace together. But healing came anyway. In broken pieces. In quiet choices. In time. The bookstore was small. Tucked between a flower shop and a second-hand record store. It smelled like old pages and rain-soaked wood. Clara wasn't looking for anything in particular. She'd spent the morning wandering the city. No destination, no map, just an urge to move. It had been 6 months since she'd seen either of them. Her heart didn't ache like it used to. Not sharp. Just sometimes a dull pressure, like remembering an old injury when the weather shifts. She reached for a copy of Kafka on the Shore. Good choice. The voice was familiar. She turned slowly. Noah stood a few feet away. Clean-shaven, calmer. Dressed simply. No Liam in his posture this time. Just Noah. Quiet, steady, real. Clara didn't speak right away. Neither did he. Eventually she smiled, small, uncertain. "You stalking my literary taste now?" He chuckled. "Just following your impeccable trail of good fiction." It felt strange, standing there. Not like old times, not like strangers either. Somewhere in between. "I read your letter," she said. "I figured. You meant it. Every word." She nodded, then looked away. "I wanted to hate you. Both of you. I don't blame you. But I couldn't." She paused. "Because the version of you I fell for wasn't fake. It just wasn't who I thought." Noah didn't respond. He didn't need to. They stood in that quiet aisle for a few seconds longer. The shop hummed with faint jazz and the occasional turning of pages. Finally, Clara asked, "So, what are you doing now?" "Trying to live a life that's mine," he said. "No substitutions." She smiled at that. A real smile this time. "Good." He looked at the book in her hand. "Let me buy that for you." She raised a brow. "Trying to win points again?" "No. Just trying to say hello, the right way this time." She considered. All right, just this once. They left the store together. No hand-holding. No promises. No talk of starting over. Just two people walking side by side. The world didn't slow. The city didn't notice. But something small, something honest moved forward. Not a love story. Not yet. Just a truth finally lived. And sometimes that's enough.